Super Dave here with another Super Dave review. Is this what I think it is? Yes, it is. It is here. It is here. Yes. Yes.
Deep in the wells of Eternia, there is Despondos, the hell of Eternus. These villains have never seen underneath such horrendous evil like they will behold this evening. An evil unlike anything they have perceived before. They will behold the evils of Scareglow.
Taking a quick look at this box, it has the Netflix little sticker in the corner, has this awesome Scareglow artwork with Masters of the Universe Revelation and Mattel in the corners there, and then turning it around, it has this beautiful artwork with Scareglow standing in a valley of skulls there, his cape whipping around and his Reaper weapon. Just really awesome artwork just on the shipper box, as they call it here. It's actually a collector-friendly shipper box, but just really, really cool. Let's take a look at the next level of box. As soon as you open the lid, you get this little pamphlet, Masters of the Universe Revelation Scareglow instructions. So this is cool. Look at that in just a moment. And then, of course, you get like a varnished little raised section on top of this next level of box that says Masters of the Universe Revelation. Really, really neat. And I do believe those indicate on the right and left there pages. We'll look at that in just a moment as we pull it out. And these instructions just show you how to pull him out of the fancy packaging. And then on the back about the batteries instruction and replacement if you want to replace the batteries, because the box actually comes equipped with batteries as well. And look at this next level of packaging. Wow. You have the Scareglow head, that varnishing of Scareglow there on the bottom, and again Masters Universe Revelation above there. I believe that's a slip cover. There's the book edges there, like it's a book underneath. Look at the detail. It's just really cool. That gem with that hieroglyphic type artwork, the skulls that are in the corners, a strap on the back of the book there. Just really neat. It's designed to look like a book. That is really cool. Now let's take off the slip cover. And once you remove this slip cover, you can already begin to see Scareglow inside. And he's glowing already. That is so cool. Check him out. That is just amazing. And then if you turn it around, of course there's that big bookend edge there, and then you see from the back as well a cape shining through, showing through the back of this book-like packaging. Just really, really cool. And now when we open up the book, it depresses a button with magnets here, and look, there goes the lighting effects on the inside. Really cool. It lights up a blacklight, and there's a little lightning type effect. And you still see almost like the inside of Snake Mountain or Despondos or a cavern or some kind of, edging right there. But that is so awesome. I love the look of that head sculpt. Oh, he's so cool. And I've got a blacklight too that's out front here, so you see how it's making the green over his body pop. Really, really nice effect. We'll show that again with the button. We'll press the button, and then when you release it, it glows, and then that lightning effect happens. And just so you can see it without my blacklight interfering, there you can see how it's glowing and still lighting up even when my blacklight is off. Just went off there. Press it again, or let's see, depress it here. There it goes. And that is cool. That is really cool. Then you can open the next level here, and such a nice collector-friendly box. You can already see here, I'll go ahead and turn my Blacklight back on here, but you can already see here his two other hands. He's got two sets. He's got his Reaper type weapon, and even the power sword that splits in two. Looks like it glows also in the Blacklight anyway. So really cool, and all you have to do is just grab this corner and pull him out. It's a very collector-friendly box. Look how easy that is. Very, very neat. So we're going to go ahead and move this out of the way and take a look at the character. And there's the full effect of his awesome glowing in the Blacklight effect. His scepter, or his Reaper type weapon, as well glows, as well as the power sword that is united with that attachment. Both halves glow. One side glows a little darker than the other side. And of course the back of his hands, as you see, he comes with two sets of hands. As we mentioned, it's a balled up fist there, and it glows on the back there, the skeleton feature on the back, and then a weapon holding hand for him to hold his Reaper type weapon there, and it has it on the thumb and on the back, as well as on this pointer finger up here, as well as on this open hand up here as well, open palm hand. Of course you can see the bones underneath that skirt there, and even underneath that shin guard there. All the bones on his person glow in the Blacklight, even the bones on his arm there, as you see, going down. There's some gauntlets on the side here, so the bones go under that, but you can see the detail there off the shoulder on that side, as well as on this side. And going ahead and turning the lights back on here, I had him on a little stand, but I'll show you very quickly here this bendy wire cape. Really, really neat. And of course there's this tag here that talks about what the cape's made of, kind of like a stuffed animal would come with. And of course that can easily be trimmed off right there at the source where it's sewn in. But this cape is really cool because it has bendy wire all the way to the edges and all the way to the edges down here, so you can bend that and get it to go anywhere. You can fold it down so that it's more of just a cape that comes down around him on the back end, or you can fold it out and have it almost like a Batman type stretched out cape, showing all those frayed edges there. So it's just really cool how it works. It just looks menacing and amazing everywhere, and it's just that bright green. It pops. I mean, even if I turn off the Blacklight there, I just turned it off, you can see that green just really pops. That color is so bright. That's without the Blacklight on it, and then there is with the Blacklight on it, so you really almost can't tell the difference except for in the dark. But that is just really neat. Phenomenal how awesome looking this looks. You see again how that cape all the way around is kind of frayed edges of it. It's really just neat. So cool looking. Awesome. Taking a look at Scareglow's power sword here, or this power sword he comes with. It's a big piece, a lot bigger than what the original power sword is, of course, here. But the reason for that is so that you can pop out this inner workings and break into the blade. The powers are broken in two, so you have the two sides of the power sword again, where they're not together anymore. Reminiscent to the storyline that goes back to the early 80s, when you would get your action figures and their little comic books, and you had two halves of the power sword, and when they came together, it made the power of he. But that's really cool collector item that comes with this particular version of Scareglow. Awesome. And our Scareglow measures in at just at that 6.5 mark to the top of his head. So he is a little bit shorter than some of the other action figures. And we'll take a look at that in just a moment when we do our comparisons. So now we've looked at his accessories. Now let's take a look at Scareglow's articulation. And taking a look at our Scareglow's articulation, you'll be able to see here that you're going to be able to get your Scareglow to look up about that much. It's going to be able to look down all the way. He's of course going to be able to look side to side on that ball joint and even get a little bit of head pivot, but not much. These Revelation figures don't have much room for a lot of head pivot, unfortunately. On the arms, he does get really nice shoulder joints that can get 360. Move that a little bit. And he has true bicep swivel. He has double jointed elbows, which get good range. He has hinges and swivel at the wrist. That's good. Moving these arms out of the way, he gets excellent diaphragm motion there, and it doesn't look like it's scratching the bright green paint, but he's able to go side to side, crunch forward about that much, bend back about that much, and then you also have the ability to turn swivel at the waist there. He's got splits in his skirts here, so he is going to be able to get your full splits with the legs there. And then he's going to be able to kick forward about that much. The skirt is going to hinder a little bit there, not quite 90 degrees. Not really going to be able to kick back much, but you do have double jointed knees, which he's going to be able to even kick his own rear end back there with that. Excellent range. As far as his foot articulation here, he's going to be able to bend it up that much, bend it down that much, and as far as his he's going to have excellent rocker joints there, so you can see getting great range. And there is a boot swivel right there, and don't forget also a thigh swivel up here underneath the skirt area. So I believe that's all of his articulation. Excellent articulation. I will show you, as part of the articulation, so to speak, is you can remove his head and then remove this part of the cape and then take off that cape. Like I said, you'll be able to trim that off if you like. So you could always put this back on him without the cape, or even have Scareglow without his collar and cape, which that head looks kind of tiny and puny without that collar and cape dressing there. But it is possible. You can do that if you would like. Go ahead and put this cape back on so that I can show you, just as part of the articulation, again, as I showed you a little bit earlier, but I'll show you in more detail how you can bend this cape to do just about anything you want. You can even wrap it around him, or so. You can bend it up, have it really ranging up there, as so. Bend it back. You can get the full effect of it spread out there, like so. So you're just going to be able to do a lot with that cape, just about anything that you desire. Really cool. Really cool Scareglow. Now let's get ready for some comparisons. And here's our Scareglow next to God Skeletor after he's been transformed, when he lifts the Sword of Power and transforms from regular Skeletor into God Skeletor, and he is much taller, which he's supposed to be, than all the other action figures near about so far in the line. And Scareglow and Skeletor are just about the same height. Looks like Skeletor, yeah, they're about the exact same height. That cowl over his skull on Skeletor might give him just a little tiny bit, but I think for the most part they're the same height. And here's Scareglow next to He-Man, and He-Man is taller than our Scareglow, but he was also taller than our Skeletor. The only action figure really so far that's taller than He-Man is God Skeletor. But I really like this He-Man. He's really nice, and I'm hoping to get a new head sculpt for him as well. Some of those that were featured in the recent PowerCon, they looked really dope on this He-Man body. I like this head sculpt okay, but I think I like the one that I've seen there even better. But that looks good together. And here's Scareglow next to our Revelation Evil Lynn. And she's looking buff and beautiful with her scepter there and her little purse hanging off her shoulder. She's looking dynamite next to our Scareglow. And of course, she's a little shorter than our Scareglow. But some of the female characters seem to be just a tad shorter. And here's our Scareglow next to our Masters of the Universe Classics Anti-Eternia He-Man. He does have a custom head there on my Anti-Eternia He-Man. Matter of fact, the man that makes those new He-Man heads for the Revelation series actually is the one that made this custom Anti-Eternia He-Man head for me. Shout out to him. But that is really cool. They look good together. I mean, these Revelation characters and Classics characters, in my opinion, match up perfectly together. That's my opinion. And here's Scareglow next to our Faker, with part of his face ripped off there, showing some of the mechanics. And this is the Masters of the Universe Classics Faker, which has the blue skin. I've not gotten a hold of the Motu Revelation Faker yet. Looking forward to hopefully snagging one of those so that I can get a review going of him. If anybody can help me out, it would be greatly appreciated. My Targets just don't have them, or online is sold out. But there he is, really cool looking. And last but not least, here's our new Scareglow from Masters of the Universe Revelation next to our Masters of the Universe Classics Scareglow. Now the reason he's looking that way, and I'll show you when I turn off this, he actually is made of a material, instead of it just being a bright green, his entire body glows in the dark. And so when you turn off all the lights here, you can see that the only part that glows in the dark of our new Revelation Scareglow is his head. But the Masters of the Universe Classic Scareglow, his entire body pretty much glowed in the dark. Even this part of his scepter here, or his Reaper type weapon here. So, but that's the reason it kind of glows white in the Blacklight, because it's actual glow-in-the-dark plastic, whereas the glow-in-the-dark feature doesn't really function on the Revelation one except for his head, but he has that Blacklight ability to glow, which is cool. It goes with the function of the box that he came with. But I'm wondering if the new Scareglow that will be released on retail, and the regular packaging and retail, will actually have those features of his skeleton outline glowing in the dark. Looking at some of the pictures online, I would say that's their plan. And that may be one of the things that separate the two. But we'll see when it comes out. But his rib cage, his arm bones, leg bones, hand bones, all of that's just painted green for the Blacklight. Now this hard plastic on our Classics kind of looks that green color in my lighting, and then the arms and legs and head have that bright white look in the Blacklight, as you can see there as I get it really close. But then when you turn it off, when you turn all these lights off, you see the glow-in-the-dark feature really shine. I can get this other one, there we go, on the body of the Classics, and then the head of the Revelation Scareglow. The Revelation Scareglow head is quite a bit smaller And I've seen others already compare by, and my Scareglow classic one is so brittle, I don't want to take the chance of popping that head off, because that material is kind of brittle compared to other figures. But I have seen others do that, and it really looks too big on the head of on the body of the Revelation, and then this one looks too small on the head of the classics, and it's not a fit either without using a hairdryer trick. That's another reason I don't want to mess up my old classics here, because it is brittle. Now, it is one thing that I forgot to mention on our Revelation Scareglow is that his body, especially his hands and his arms, is kind of a translucent material. It's hard to tell that unless you get some pretty bright light coming in from behind, but it is a somewhat of a translucent material in part of his arms and his hands and part of his body, and of course his skull as well. It's a translucent type material. But that will do it for comparisons of classics figures and Revelation figures. Let me show you just a few figures from other line. Here he is beside our Marvel Legends She-Hulk, and I did a little customizing, painting her, and also put a little bicep pop up there. But she's looking good beside our Scareglow. And here's our SH Figure Arts Final Battle Jiren, which I call in my Motu Classics universe, or Motu universe, King Ultron. He turns into this beast of a muscular figure, rips off his shirt, becomes King Ultron. But he looks good next to our Scareglow. So you can mix and match a lot of figures with this guy. And here's our Scareglow in front of God Skeletor and Storm Collectibles Ares. I mean, I like the way these two guys match up as well. They look really cool together, even though Ares is much taller. I just like these two action figures together. They would go well in some scenes with other villains. I like this Ares. I've got a review up on him. But there's Scareglow next to Storm Collectibles Ares. Even though Ares is taller, with that cool cloth cape that both of them have that are posable, you can pose it around. And of course, Ares' huge sword, big giant battle axe there. I mean, these characters actually look good together, I think. Looking cool. And here's a comparison of our Figma Devil Man that we reviewed not too long ago with Scareglow from Revelation. So we have Eternia's devil type figure from Despondos, and then you have Devil Man. So there they are. Really cool. It's looking good. Looking good. Super Dave here, and tonight we have been looking at a ghost, Carrick Null. And Carrick Null is actually his name according to the Classics bio card, an evil sorcerer who walked the land trying to break into Castle Grayskull so he could take over the universe, and many other sins. So his punishment was to come back to Eternia and walk the land with the key, but unable to enter Castle Grayskull. Well, regardless of who he is, whether he's the devil of Despondos or Carrick Null, Scareglow is a ghost. And ultimately, he is evil. Now, in the classics, he actually became a servant of Skeletor because he was conjured back. But looks like Revelation's doing something a little different with him. He's almost like, you know, the ruler over Despondos now, or the dead, or the Hell of Eternos. But anyway, hope you've enjoyed this review of Scareglow, and come back and see us again. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't. Thank you so much. See you next time on Super Dave's Reviews.